is COVID drastically changed several people's plans, but there was still the expectation to still show up, right? So how are you able to recalibrate yourself and keep going?
Okay, thank you very much. At the individual level, I'm somebody who dread even the slightest of medications. If you see me use a tablet, it means the matter has really got into a head, talk less of visiting a doctor. As far as COVID was concerned, it really came as an unexpected and unwelcome disruptor. Life was certainly interrupted, was disrupted, and would unlikely be the same again. Those of us who one of our children described as office men became home-based, and we found ourselves having to operate within the confines of our homestead. We tried our best, and I think we still delivered. On the organizational level, COVID was the first real test of our preparedness to meet disasters. Every business, and even I think every individual should have a continuity plan, how to ensure your life does not stop simply because some supervening events like a COVID pandemic has happened. So at the business level, it was our first real test of the efficacy of our business continuity plan. And fortunately for us, it worked. I mean, what we had put down really worked. So the first lesson for me was that, look, we need to plan. And planning means you have a goal that you have set ahead for yourself. You identify the steps you need to take in order to achieve those goals, and take what you believe will be the prevailing circumstances, the underlying assumptions, logical arrangement of things, everything remaining normal. Take that as plan A. We must always have plan B, plan C, and depending on the situation, more alternative plans. What will be your plan B will be the products of what in management are known as stress tests. If things don't work out the way you assume they will in plan A, what do you do? If you are an itinerant public speaker, for example, you earn your living by going around addressing people, making presentations and all that, and suddenly travel restrictions come up, what do you do? So it's very important that when you have your set of assumptions to build your plan A, your plan A is, I want to achieve this, and these are the things I require to achieve them, and this is how I will go about achieving them. Assuming all things being equal, like economists will say, you decide what will happen, what you will do should that happen. And so you begin to develop alternative plans, plans B, C, and so on and so forth, depending on the issue at hand. Then secondly, apart from planning, is you just have to be flexible. COVID-19 has taught us the advantage and the power in flexibility. You cannot insist you want to go out when the government has said you cannot go out. Or when you see that people are just picking the infections left, right, and center, you still want to take the risk only to foist more problems on yourselves. I'm happy for my country, Nigeria. Those of us who are out here, especially those of you who must have read about South Africa, we've seen the reality of COVID. I've lost somebody in the office. My next door neighbor died in my residence. the other neighbor, because I live in a block of apartments. On one side, it was death. On the other side, it was infection. And so it's real. It's something we could feel and see. And because of that, we now needed to be flexible, to be adaptable to the new reality that COVID has foisted on us. And that new reality is that we could no longer do things the way we used to do them. We were no longer free in terms of choice of action, in terms of choice of activity, even in terms of choice of what you eat and what you engage in on a daily basis. So it became inevitable that we needed to find alternative ways of accomplishing our goals. Fortunately for us, technology came to the rescue, and we all know that technology enabled us to kind of achieve some normality in our activities, including technology that involved placing orders for what you will need at home and getting them delivered to you, which was allowed in the circumstance of the lockdown that we faced here. So better planning, careful planning, designing options and alternatives for yourselves, being flexible, adapting to the situation that faces you, as well as re-strategizing without losing focus on your ultimate goal will be my response to the question around how I've coped under the COVID situation, both at personal level as well as at my employment level. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, sir.